Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo on another Friday night here in the basement. Cheers to y'all on another Friday night. Let's crack those beers if you got them.
Dude, first one in the new year.
All right. I like that you're going on British time, so it's technically
Screw it.
February.
No.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
There you go, John.
I'm going to have a cigar, too. First one all year.
All right. Fantastic. Well, good to see everybody on a Friday night. We have a bunch of people
I'm
in
not
the
leaving.
chat. You can stay here all you want, just in case my internet.
Oh, this is the best beer I ever had.
Casso again. But we got Anders in there first, of course. Hello, lads. Where are my early friends? Valentina, very good to see you all the way from Romania. Jimmy Bremer's Ghost. There you go. He says, transfers, what are they? Who else do we have? John LUFC Garside has been a member for 11 months. Deborah the Zebra, very good to see you. Mark's best friend in the chat here, the only other Wolves fan.
I'm going to bring Mark in because you're kind of choppy.
I'm chopping? All right. All right. Well, that's the intro. Let's get my guest, my first, my lovely host here. To cover
what is
for
going on, everybody in the world out there? Good to see y'all. Enjoy that first beer of the new year, John, as well as that cigar. I'm going to do some heroin for the first time this year. No,
Mark,
I can't think of anything else.
Save that for your OnlyFans.
My OnlyFans, none of them.
On Mark's OnlyFans, he tries heroin for the first time.
Wow. What do you think? How many would I reach 1 million viewers before I got arrested? Since I'm doing heroin online, I have no idea. I don't know what people do. I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen OnlyFans or any of those TikTok, whatchamacallits, or anything like that. This is the only podcast or the video cast or the YouTube show I watch. I occasionally catch the Leeds program with the boys, but because I don't watch enough Leeds, I tend not to know what's going on. Anyway, good to see you. You're looking well in yet another Arsenal top. This one looks like it's a doodle from the back of a notebook in 11th grade.
It pretty much was. That's kind of what it was based on. Yeah, this was the Ian Wright. He helped design this one. It's got all sorts of hidden Arsenal stuff throughout. It's really cool, except that I hate that it has plastered the big Emirates logo on the front. I'm like, you've got all this artwork. It's not even a match shirt. Like, they don't wear this in the match. It was last year. It was one of their warm-up tops. I tell you what, Arsenal is damn good about not giving the fans what they want with transfers. And anytime we complain too much, instead of dealing with the issues, actually going for a striker, they launch new merch. I think they've dropped
it's a distraction.
They've dropped like their 17th different outfit of the season. And I'm like, I'm on an Arsenal chat and everybody's like, I can't just keep buying. If they're not buying players, I can't keep buying this merch. Yeah, BX will take you to 125th Street.
Is that East or West?
Well, shit, 125th Street is starting to get nice now. I don't know if you can.
I was going to say, rent there is probably about $4,000 a month.
Yeah, I don't know if they do heroin on 125th anymore.
It is truly heroin chic when you're spending that kind of money back then, you know.
Yeah, they do classy drugs up there now. That's technically the Upper West Side now.
They're doing Molly.
They're doing drugs we haven't heard of yet. Don't worry, they'll cut them and give them to the brown people soon enough. So, that's the kind of show. Look what happens, Mark, when the first words out of your mouth are, I'm going to do some heroin. This is the type of show you get. Speaking of doing heroin and other drugs, Mark, I feel like we had a rough week, you and I, a rough weekend, because, of course, Wolves played Arsenal, and, of course, there was sketchy decisions going on. And, of course, You get aggravated, and that throws a nickel in the Matt Cantac Arsenal fan tweets or comments on WhatsApp, which gets me all riled up. And Mark seemed to have the opinion during the match that it was a red card on you, Lewis Skelly. We need to stop complaining. Arsenal's always wrong. They're always complaining about the refs. And Mark, you got a point. You got a point for all that. All I'm saying is on this occasion, that was harsh as hell, and it seems the entire football world agrees.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the entire football world agrees. I would not say that because I am part of the entire football world, and I do not agree.
You think it's straight red? Straight red.
I do believe it is a straight red because what we're seeing is we're seeing studs. We're showing studs above the ankle, and he scrapes down the leg. And to me, that's a red. Now, this is what there's a lot of things that I don't like about this. But, we can just quickly look at this. That's above the ankle, that's showing studs, and he's nowhere near getting the ball. So, from what I've been taught, from what I've learned, but I don't know that much, as I'm constantly reminded on the chat by Mr. Matt Cantac, since we are going to invoke him.
Hold on. He says, Mark, you need to shut the fuck up about saying I don't know football anymore. To correct you on that.
I think a lot of people would. But I do think that picture right there. Now, sure, we're looking at a picture here, and that picture can be shot at an angle where it doesn't tell the whole story. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to show perhaps this. And I think this will tell a bit of a better story.
Well,
if I can only show it. There we go. We can see that his left foot goes right up and scrapes down. That's a red card.
The top of his foot.
It scrapes his leg. It
doesn't touch his leg.
Well, it becomes immaterial. It becomes immaterial because I'm going to die on that hill. That's a red card as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so let me ask
you. He catches in the calf. It scrapes down. And that should have been, he's showing studs. And from what I've learned, that's something you can't do. So with that set aside, you go ahead and say what you got to say. But then I've got some points I just want to make about this.
So my question there is Gomez's tackle at the end of towards the end of the match that he got a second yellow for. Was that not the same thing?
No, because he gets his foot, and that to me was a yellow. It's a straight up yellow. He gets his foot. He doesn't show studs.
His studs came down on the top of his foot.
But if your foot is not showing studs, you can come down on a foot, and therefore but he's not showing them. These are perpendicular to the pitch for triple S Lewis Skelly.
Mark, look at Deborah the Zebra. Deborah the Zebra is even saying Gomez's was worse.
Hey, that's fine. I'm still going to die on this hill.
Mark,
I'm going to fight. This is what I believe.
Here's the difference to me. On the Lewis Skelly one, the guy's running away from him. He kicks his leg out to do a yellow card tackle. It happens throughout the game all the time. You pull down a player, you stop a counterattack, it's a yellow card. So he knew doing that, here's a yellow card. And the guy's running past him, he kicks his leg out and brings the guy down. So his leg is going out and gets him and he brings him down. Gomez goes up and smashes down on the foot. That's
why
to me it's so you say straight away Miles Lewis Skelly is a yellow no matter what because he's stopping a breakaway. That's by the book breakaway. Then it gets down to dangerous foul play. Was it dangerous foul play? Did he scrape down the side? Did he scrape the Achilles? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Everybody, the independent panel reviewed it and said no.
Yeah.
The other one to me is a stamping down on the foot like that is a more dangerous tackle and does potentially injure the player more than what Lewis Skelly did. So the difference for me is if one of them was that close and he had the red card out before the Wolves player had hit the ground, how come he didn't have the same fervor for the Gomez one? Now, is it because he knows he's on a yellow, so he's going to send him off and he's safe? I don't know. But to me, sure. Mark, you want to call that a red card? I'm actually fine with them coming out and saying that's a dangerous tackle, that's a red card. I wish they would have sent him to the monitor. And then if he would have stuck with it, based on that, what you showed me, based on that evidence you showed me, sure, that looks dangerous. It looks like he's scraping the leg. It looks like that. So stick with it, but utilize the VAR and utilize all the tools that you have to then go look at it.
And then go to VAR and they backed him.
They backed him and they were proved to be wrong as well.
By whom?
So because we appealed it and it took 1 hour.
By whom?
By an independent counsel, by the independent tribunal that reviews those.
So you're going to bring someone outside the league.
I'm not bringing anybody. This is the process.
No. Okay, so the proverbial you. You're going to bring someone out from outside who's supposed to be unbiased to trump the official, VAR, and the PGMOL?
Yep.
Because they all said this is the right call.
No,
now, what
who's
I
they
liked
all?
About it,
they all is one company.
It's a proverbial they all.
No, I know, but you say they all, and they all is one company backing their employees. That's it. It
well,
is.
It doesn't
Mark,
matter.
Mark, the PGMOL and you are the only people sticking with this, which is fine. You have, you believe this is subjective. It is a subjective call.
Yes.
And so you stick with it. I'm not going to hate on you for having that strong of an opinion on it, and you have things that back it up in your mind. Cool. I'm going based on the fact that so many ex-referees came out and said that it wasn't ex-players, where anytime you have Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Tottenham fans saying Arsenal were wronged on this, that's where it's like fucking mind-blowing. Now, had he given a red card to Gomez, I think it would have saved his ass. And I think Arsenal don't win that appeal. You know what I mean? That's where he fucked himself, was by switching it up in the game. By seeing a very, very similar tackle and only giving a yellow for that.
I think, really the only difference being is that Gomez knew he did something wrong. The 18-year-old with 17 professional caps didn't think he did anything wrong, and I think that's bullshit. At least, if anything, why wasn't it downgraded to a yellow? Why is it just completely rescinded? That's what I don't like. Because it sends a wrong message.
No, because I think he will still have that on his record, but it'll say rescinded. And I don't think they can just like you can't review a yellow card, that you can't ask them to look at that and say, no, that should be a yellow, unless it was a red downgraded to a yellow in a match. You can't do it with the tribunal, like with the appeal. It's only to repeal the ban. Because he would have got like a 3-game match ban for foul play, dangerous foul play, straight red, etc. So for us, we get him back immediately, which is fantastic. And but I don't know about that, Mark. I don't know if it's downgraded to a yellow or not.
It's been completely rescinded.
Yeah,
it's been completely rescinded, which I don't like that at all.
100% it's a yellow.
Because what that tells me is, or what that says to me is that an 18-year-old kid with a teenager with 17 professional caps is
no 17 first team caps, not professional caps.
Okay,
he's been
whatever.
Playing for Arsenal for years.
You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah. But it's not like he's never played football before. He knew exactly what he was doing.
It doesn't change the fact he's still 18 years old, and what he's been taught in this moment is that he can get away with that, and the team will appeal, and he'll get off for it. That's what he learned. You know, I don't agree with it, and I think that at this point we can exhaust this conversation for absolutely ever. Because again, I still think it's a red, and again, maybe this goes back to what I say. It's like, hey man, maybe I don't know football that well.
Well, Mark, if it makes you feel any better, most people have no clue what the fuck a red card is anymore because things are all over the place. But Terrence Knowles, good to see you on here, says Gomez did not show studs, not a red. And then Deborah said something here, to be fair, it was worse than a yellow, but not a red. Let's call it an orange card. Absolutely. I think it was an intentional yellow, and his foot went high. And to be honest, looking at it, I'm going like, look, letter of the law, his foot was a little high and the studs were showing. And he got sent off. I was more upset at him than the referee at the time, except for the fact that he didn't just take a moment and go, let me go double check this, because it's a huge decision in the first half of a game. And if you're Michael Oliver, you've made poor decisions in the past for many teams, being the best referee in England. You've made poor decisions. You've made poor gut decisions. You have this built in to save your ass. Had he gone to the monitor and looked at it and stayed and stuck by it, there's not much we can say about that. But they didn't utilize all that, so it did look like a bitchy thing. And Mark, you do got to say that red card was out fucking fast. He didn't think
it was pretty clear what he did, and I felt Michael Oliver had a good look at it. Now, again, we can beat this to death. You know, I mean, we've seen it before. You know, we see it before out there. You know, ref has got to make a call at a split second, and you know, for me, the only, I don't know. I just. To be honest, my short answer should have been, it's over. It's been overturned, and who cares, because it has been in every single social media corner, every single Arsenal fan has called it the worst decision against Arsenal of all time, which is exactly what they said last week and the week before and the week before and the week before. And it's just like, look, guys, I'm really sorry you thought it was your year and someone else came in and took the spot.
Yeah. Mark, I feel you on that 100%. I'm there with you on that. And let me just say, as a big Arsenal fan that I am, this was not the worst red card decision in the history of red card decisions. It was not. Get over it, Arsenal. Get over it, Arsenal fans. It was a decision that could have gone either way. It went one way. They stuck with it. We hung on to win the game, and then they got the card rescinded. Okay, I don't think it's a conspiracy. And listen to me now. The people who say, "Oh, Arsenal fans always," I'm telling you,
best cigar ever.
I don't think.
Glad you're enjoying that, John.
There's a conspiracy, and I don't think it's the worst red card or the worst decision that's gone against Arsenal. There's worse decisions that have gone against other teams as well. I mean, Liverpool guy getting kicked in the chest, right? McAllister kicked in the chest, not even a foul. Stuff like that. The Kovacic shit.
No, and
No.
for me, the one that sticks out mostly is the Pickford the Virgil van Dijk.
That was an offside though, which is a shitty. It's a shitty rule because that means if it's offside, you can punch someone in the face,
right?
Because the play doesn't count.
Right.
So anyway, let's Mark, thank you for indulging me, and I'm so glad you didn't just say it's over, it's gone. No, because you have a strong opinion about it and you can back up what you're saying. So I want to give you that opportunity. And I also wanted the opportunity to say that I am not with most Arsenal fans who are crying that this is the worst decision ever. I just don't. I think there's been a lot, and we should. How dare we complain about it on a week where we're playing Wolves? Okay, like look back at what Wolves have gotten, and Wolves have gotten absolutely fucked in the past few years.
This Wolf fan is not going to linger on the litany of poor calls that we've gotten over the last 3 seasons, but it is what it is. There's nothing to be done, and I don't see.
This hasn't been said once, Tony. We haven't said anything about that once. So you and Mr. Tom keep counting, and you're going to stay fucking backstage until you learn how to comment nice. But Mark. Oh, fuck, they brought him in. All right, everybody. Big up to Tony. This is Tony. For those of you who don't know, he's clearly a Chicago Blackhawks fan, as as a Newcastle fan. We have so many Tonys in our group. This is Tony Newcastle in my phone. What's up, Tony? How are you, man?
Miss you guys. Hope you're all well.
Yeah, very good to see you. Glad to have you back.
It's been a good week. Surprised they actually beat Southampton last week after Big Daddy Bournemouth.
After getting your ass handed to you by Bournemouth. Don't worry, It's happening to everybody this season. Luckily, they keep losing to dumb teams, so they keep beating good teams and then losing to dumb teams. So that's kind of fine. It gives us hope for like this weekend against Liverpool that they'll continue doing that, and then they'll lose to like, Southampton or somebody. So, oh my God, your comment.
I think all we have to do is just like start thinking that Bournemouth is a good team, and then they'll start losing, because every single time I think there's a team that's like, oh, they're pretty good, and they just end up shitting the bed for a few weeks. Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. Well, not Bournemouth right now, but Fulham. Every time I'm like, Fulham. These guys are going to be a surprise team. So now all we need to do is just start putting hope and dreams into Lille, and they'll bounce out of the Champions League.
Who does Bournemouth have this weekend?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna
and
be
they've
fun.
already beat. No, did they beat Liverpool? No, that was Nottingham Forest. I don't think. No, they didn't beat Liverpool.
Liverpool's only lost once, right?
I think. Yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
might be.
I think Forest beat them, and they've only got one loss.
Yeah, and that was Nottingham Forest, who also got a draw. So, yeah. What are we talking about? Okay, so Newcastle. You got anything you want to say about the weekend or about
No, Fulham's always a tough test, so I'm interested to see how this goes. See if Raul Jimenez does a karate kick on somebody.
His Hong Kong Phooey impression.
Yeah, because was it when he was on Wolves or when he was on Fulham?
Yeah, he was with
got
Wolves.
The red card. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he was with Wolves, I think.
Okay, because I remember he got the karate kick red card. So we'll see if that.
He was always good for a red card with Wolves, at least once a season.
Yeah, he's got to be fiery. He's got the fire.
Exactly.
Charlie,
angry 6'2", Mexican.
Yeah, and then Miggy got sold finally. So
yeah,
I'm curious if they'll sell Sean.
Is that bittersweet? Is it bittersweet for you? You said finally.
No, I mean, I remember when they signed him 6 years ago, and I was ecstatic because he broke the transfer record at 19 million pounds. It's like, oh my God. And then
you guys got bought by a nation state.
Yeah.
And you're like, 19 million. We'll get a manager for that price.
Yeah.
I think they get an equipment manager for that price.
I think he was just played out of position because I never watched MLS, but everybody always said he played as a number 10, like right behind the striker. And he never played that position for Newcastle. So I think had he played in that role with any team in England, he would have flourished. But for some reason, everybody just was obsessed with playing him out on the right, and he just, you could just tell he did great when he did, but the man's got no right foot, and that's not a flaunt to him. He's much more skilled than I am. So he was great on his day. So
I always like
the money.
Yeah.
And they need to sell Longstaff. They need to make up some PSR money, especially with Villa selling Duran today or yesterday.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
So,
I could not believe that. And it popped out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it was
so
done.
We really need to
it was like a done deal in like 36 hours. From rumor to finish.
Yeah. So then we kept Dubravka too.
Yeah.
Well, before he goes to sleep, let's go ahead and bring on Mr. Tom as well. Oh, no, he's going back to sleep. There he is. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, man.
Hey, everyone. How you doing, Tony, Mark, and Lolo?
I was so sad when you left the chat.
Sorry, I did what now?
You left the chat.
Oh, I left loads of chats this week. Like, don't go thinking you're fucking special. I left all of them. I left all of them, Tony. Left all of them. I left all of them. They all stank. They all stank. No, seriously. Just needed to do it. It's fine. Anyway, sorry, right? I'm sorry that I'm now just going to steam in here and do loads of bullshit and then fuck off again at 1 a.m. Anyway, sorry, what? Sorry, wait, what? No, I don't know where I'm going. And Lolo's pulling the shut the fuck up, Tom face. And while Mark's sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm not hearing the sound of my own voice for 25 seconds. This is a major problem that Mark needs to fix. Anyway, sorry, what? Anyway, whatever. No, I love you, Mark. I do love you. Sorry, what?
Wow. Where is this coming from?
This is
Tom,
like
you're the best. Tom, you are the best.
Like somebody.
Thank you, John, for your correct assessment.
Somebody got Tom tickets to Lewis Black this weekend, or what? Like he just comes on destroying us all. Here's the problem with you fucking people.
No. The difference is, right, I'll feel highly comfortable saying that joke to Mark, but at the same time, if I really hated Mark, I just wouldn't fucking say it.
Fair enough.
Yep.
But, get back in a knife drawer. I mean, that's part of the problem. That's why I got banned from work for a bit. Anyway, what? Sorry, that's a bit behind the curtain. Anyway, no, that's true, actually. But no, seriously, look at Tony's happy face. Look at Tony. Tony's thrilled. Tony looks like he's just been told that he's going to save 72 pence on his next electric bill. Look how happy he looks.
God, I love it. It's the little things, Tom. It's the little things in life.
It's little things. That's what my ex-wife said.
Well, good. Well, welcome to the show, Tom. I know you're anxious to talk about the Arsenal red card. I
cannot. No. I'll say this in the most polite manner that I can. I would rather scrape my balls on sandpaper for the next 42 hours than discuss the Arsenal red card. But I respect the fact that as an Arsenal fan and a Wolves fan, you are naturally going to want to discuss the red card. So, gentlemen, what did you make of the red card?
It was good. It was perfect. It was delicious.
I loved it myself.
I had to. Okay. So I want to know from Tony, do you think so look, somebody mentioned on here, Terrence Knowles mentioned on here, gotta say in 2 years' time with their money and the clever way they're not breaching rules, Newcastle will be unstoppable. The new Man City. There is something to be said about that because y'all got an influx of cash the way you did, and everybody was like, "Oh, here we go. They're gonna buy the league. They're gonna buy the league. They're gonna buy the league," and you haven't. You've been slow. You went with a manager first mentality, and you got in David Brent, or whatever his name is,
Edward
Gordie
Bowler.
Howe, Eddie Howe. Fuck.
Brent manages Celtic right now.
King Edward.
Who?
David
King
Brent
Edward.
manages Celtic.
David Brent manages Celtic.
Yeah.
Oh, I
you
didn't
don't
know.
know about this. There's an
No.
article. Sorry to steam in again.
No,
Tony.
that's good.
There's an article which is basically called "Who Said This Quote," and it's either Brendan Rodgers or David Brent. But they're so these statements are so similar that you actually can't really distinguish between is it David Brent or Brendan Rodgers, and some are either. But it's a real thing. I've literally not made that up. It's a real thing.
Well, we'll have to check it out.
I wish I did make it up, but I didn't.
So, Tony, are you happy with the way that your club's being run? Do you agree with this statement? Do you feel like you have a trajectory that will bring you all to winning the league, going far in the Champions League, etc., winning cups in the next few years?
I think so, but I think they'll have to sell someone in the summer to. Yeah, well, it's not going to go to you.
Arsenal, no.
But there's talk of a new ground, which will be big, especially if it's 70,000, which would be bigger than the Emirates. So, but they don't have the posh people of London to flourish it. So
To fill it.
Yeah.
So why would you build it? If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come. So
Jesus, John, third one. You're on one every 10 minutes. All right.
he's got to make up for the
I
month.
need to catch it.
You got a problem with that?
No, I think it's going well. So, but
Best beers ever.
seeing Villa hurting for PSR, the lovely PSR world. It's let's see what happens.
So, do you think?
They got to sell Longstaff. They got to sell Wilson.
Do you think you can hang on to the likes of Alexander Isak after a year that he's had like this? Do you feel like you can hang on to him? I mean, how many more fantastic seasons do you think he has left in him? 3?
Well, he's only 25. I don't have my Wikipedia up on him, but
yeah, he's old, man. Fucking old. And he's Swedish too, so they age differently. They use metric.
Like a fine. What do they do? They eat like something cod or whatever those Nordic countries do.
They eat a lot of fermented foods.
Fermented
Filter fish.
And they have to take a sauna once a day, or else they
he's got the sauna life going. So
but no, he's not old. He's 25. Come on. He's got plenty of time. I mean, Jesus, look at Jamie Vardy. If he can play to 63.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy's doing it with 3 Red Bulls before every match. And probably
and that works.
Mark Smith.
As long as nobody's taken his toilet to drop a deuce during halftime, because all the tobacco and Red Bull and the running around, at halftime he's like leaking out his drawers. He's like out the fucking way.
I do think they need to get rid of Pope at some
point. Mark, have you gone to the crapper to make some videos for the halftime show?
I haven't had time, but eventually I will probably. We got a break coming up, right? The winter break soon.
Yeah, next week.
Next week. So I'll play around with it, but
Lolo, we play each other on Wednesday.
I know. It seemed like so far away the last time. I was hoping we would have more players back.
Well, a 2-0 deficit would make it seem really far away, wouldn't it?
Well, make me hope that it's super far away, but it was like 3 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was like 3 weeks will be by the time we play. It's like a 3-week break. So there were some hopes that maybe some people could be back fit, and we do have a lot of our squad back. So
do you think
we're
he's
just
even going
missing.
to try to put out a strong side for it since it's the League Cup, or not really?
Oh, absolutely. I think he
Okay.
puts out our strongest side. We have to. He has to. He has to know that like we could win all the rest of our games in the league and still lose the league. If we win all of our games in this cup, we win the cup. If we win all of our games in Champions League, we win Champions League. So for me, it's not a priority thing where we start prioritizing, but I'd say every match from here on out is the priority, and then see where it goes. If we lose another one in the league, then like securing top 4 is all that matters. And let's win. He needs to win a trophy. He needs to win a trophy.
Still have the Champions League, right?
What was that?
You still have the Champions League, right?
Yeah, we came in 3rd place in the group stages, which is a great showing. We only lost one game, and that was a 1-0 on a penalty. That was a handball that wasn't given in the same game. There you go, handball, Euro handball league, like you said.
There we go. The refs cost us another game.
But no, eight matches, and we only gave up 1 goal in open play, and it was on the last day. It was on our last match. So I think we're doing absolutely fantastic in the Champions League.
You guys did very, very well against the bottom 30, against the bottom half of the league. Fantastic.
Yes, that's why I'm wondering if you'll take the League Cup seriously, because it's not as important.
What are you talking about the bottom? It's a random draw, Mark, and everybody plays the same amount.
Sure, everyone plays the same amount.
We played Atalanta. We played Inter Milan.
Yeah, Atalanta are fighting
other
for
teams,
the Serie A title.
And other teams. And you know what? Man City played the bottom half of the fucking league as well, and they only won 3 games.
They were so far down the table, I didn't really take a look at who they played because they are obviously not doing well. But I just, I'm looking. Arsenal had a very, very cushy Champions League schedule.
Mark,
they barely
don't talk about shit that you don't know about. Cushy fucking Champions League schedule.
You guys played out of 8 teams, 3 were in the top 16.
Ended up in the top 16?
Ended up in the top 16.
You know who's not in the top 16, Mark?
You know
fucking who, PSG. You're telling me PSG don't fucking count.
PSG was number 15.
Yeah, and we beat 15th. Them. We beat them like no problem.
That's
Real Madrid, Man City.
Yeah, Real Madrid and Man City play each other. That's crazy.
They play each other because they were both so fucking shit. So calling them bottom half of the table, Man City are bottom half of the table.
I hope Real Madrid lose.
I think you're missing my point, but that's okay. Here, hold on a second. Let me look this up.
It's the truth is, Mark, it's designed basically to give a massive foul safe to a lot of the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what happened to City and PSG. Exactly what happened to them.
You played Girona, eliminated. Dynamo, eliminated. Shakhtar, eliminated. These are some of the bottom-feeding teams. You guys played them. Sporting barely qualified. The only tough one outside of the top 16 that you may have played was Monaco.
Inter Milan. Inter Milan. PSG.
You lost.
We lost 1-0.
You lost to Inter. You drew against Atalanta, and you beat PSG.
Yeah.
And PSG, you won like what? 1-0.
Yeah.
So
when I say we only lost 1-0, you go yeah. And then when I say we beat PSG, you say you only won 1-0. What is it, Mark? Is 1-0 a fucking
all
winner?
I'm saying is your 8 matches were very cupcake. Your schedule for the Champions League was extremely cupcake. Now,
Mark,
on the other hand,
Atalanta,
on the other side of the coin, let's look at Liverpool, who played 5 teams and went 4-1. Played 5 teams in the top 16.
Hey, Tom, is that the history of Leeds?
Ended up in the top 16.
It's the history of Leeds. You know what that means.
What do you see, Tom?
I was wondering where Gary is, and he just sent this picture. This is his view while he's watching, while he's listening.
It looks like he's in La Brea.
I don't know where he is. He didn't say.
It's just like, staying at a Marriott. I don't even know. I don't even stay anywhere.
All right. Well, Tom, why don't you explain to us how the Champions League structure works and why it sucks and why it's designed for the rich to get richer, as you were just saying.
Aside from the obvious things of more games, more prize money, which will inevitably end up going to those teams, which, again, I've got nothing against that. That's just the nature of the capitalism within football. But the thing that's come out of this is basically Man City, great example, underperformed throughout this tournament. They've underperformed, but they still ended up in a situation where you beat a, with respect to Club Brugge, a team you should beat with your eyes shut at home on a Wednesday night, and you make it through. And they managed to go 1-0 down in the second half and still made it through.
Right. I was actually surprised.
This is the level of the jeopardy that you have in this, where basically you're literally putting Man City basically ended up on 11 points, something like this, and it's like, but that sort of form in the usual group format, they would have been eliminated,
right?
But obviously they would have been put against weaker sides in general, so I get the trade-off with that, but you then end up in this situation. I think Man City are still highly likely to win the Champions League. And people go, that's mad. That's mad. It's like, what is it? Because they only need to end up, if they beat Real Madrid, then they are likely to win the Champions League.
Right.
And they'll deserve it. But will they truly deserve it? Because they end up finishing like 13th or whatever it ended up being.
But it doesn't matter, because I think now they'll take it seriously, because now they have Real Madrid. And now it's when they'll start their engines. Whereas their league
is that a for sure thing who they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing Real Madrid. This unfortunately, I almost wish they would have gone up against like a PSV or somebody like that, where they might not come into it full on. But this reminds me of the Champions League they won a couple years back, where they had to play fucking everybody on their way to get there to the final. And they, I forget who it was, but it was like PSG, Liverpool, somebody, like it was every single game they had to play somebody fucking incredible, and they just kept pulling through and getting better and better. So yeah, this is almost set up for them to shock the world.
It feels set up to basically reward the underperformance of certain teams, because then they're going to put these Real Madrids and Man Cities, I know they're against each other, but hypothetically, for the most part, if any team of this like upper echelon of the European football sphere financially ends up underperforming slightly, all that then happens is, oh good, you then get to play in a playoff against a team that actually for them did quite well. So you eventually, like not this year, but eventually you will get years where Man City, if they underperform, they're going to end up playing PSV Eindhoven, who they should actually, again, beat with their eyes shut and their hands tied behind their back. But then that's the football, isn't it? Unfortunately. But my real question is, because obviously Mark was really vocal about Arsenal and their underperformance in finishing third, which is another question. But who finished 36th?
Oh, they didn't win a single match.
Young Boys.
Young Boys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Young Boys and Bratislava both.
I think Young Boys managed to score 3 goals in 8 games while giving up 24.
Two things. I saw someone say that Dynamo Zagreb were really unlucky to be the only team on 11 points to actually not be eliminated. I'm like, no, they lost 9-2 in the first match. They are fucking lucky that they even got to 11 points in the first place. It's fucking bullshit. People sitting there like these real football hippies. Or what would you call them? Oh, not hippies, not the right word. Well,
because if it was still the group stage, they would have 0 points probably.
Mm-hmm.
Almost certainly. But my question was actually going to be, let's say for argument's sake, Young Boys finished 36th. Would Wolves beat them?
Oh, I have no idea.
No, I think
I've never
Wolves
seen
could beat them.
obviously, I've never seen them play. You know, I don't think we're capable. Hey, you know what? I mean, I've heard the chant on some video not too long ago, but you know, it's like this. I feel this way about Wolves right now. We lose every week. We lose every week. You're nothing special. We lose every week.
Oh no, you get chants all the time. Like I think when Leeds will get someone. When Leeds were in someone's chanting like going down. But because our opponents were a team that were also going down, we started chanting so are we, sort of.
Yeah.
Thing.
But I think Wolves could beat them, Tom. I mean, just think about it. If the player in each position and the manager that Wolves have now, I think it's possible. Why not?
Financially, I agree with you because I imagine Wolves earn more money. Being in the Premier League, they almost certainly receive more money than young boys will for being in the Swiss League and the Champions League. But at the same point, the only reason what I think makes it competitive as a contest is young boys are almost certainly going to be doing well in Switzerland still, comparatively to their own league. So they will be playing as take away the Champions League aspect of it. For most weeks, they are going to be winning games. If it turns out they're mid-table or whatever, then fuck it, this means nothing, obviously, and I'm an idiot. I should have read this up, obviously, but. Safe guess because they're in the Champions League every year.
Just like Celtic.
So, yeah, same thing. So what I'm wondering is because of I think Wolves are not got the confidence at the moment because a lot of their lads have got I don't know if Mark agrees with this or not, but they have the demeanour of we're not doing well. Like most weeks, I mean, they did have an upturn in form around Christmas, and I respect that, but. It feels like they would go in. It'd be like, you know, when they do the relegation playoff in Germany, but then you get the team at the bottom in Germany.
I wish they did that in England.
But the reason that wouldn't work in England is because of the significant financial advantage of the team in the top division. It'd be even more. It'd be even more of a massacre. But unless it plays out like I'm suggesting, where basically. Wolves, young boys would have to take advantage of the fact that Wolves have not been playing with confidence because winning games takes confidence.
I said it last week, and I think I maybe even said it the week before, but it's just like, you know, say what you will, no matter what they were doing, no matter where they were in the table, they played hard for Gary O'Neill. They're not exactly playing hard for Pereira right now. I see a lot of bickering on the pitch between players, particularly when Hichan and Cunha are on the pitch together. And to be honest, after Arsenal and Wolves, I really thought that Cunha was going to go to Wolves because there was a little interesting exchange during that match. At least I found it interesting, and maybe nobody noticed. But Declan Rice, Cunha has the ball. Declan Rice tackles him, and Cunha gets up and looks at Rice and has the biggest smile on his face. I don't know if there was something that was said between them, but it just kind of just said to me, it's just like, yeah, he just does want to be there. It's just no one's coming in with an offer that's going to wow Wolves, that's going to make it worth getting relegated for. And I hate to say it, but that's what ownership is playing for right now. We can't sign anybody. All these rumors are just bullshit. I'm very happy with the one signing we got because he's proven to be very, very good for Wolves. Agadudu or whatever. I won't even attempt to pronounce his name as of yet. But he's built like a brick wall, and he does a pretty good job back there. So I'm very, very happy. I'm not happy that is our only signing, but it just Agbadu. There you have it.
All right.
Agbadu.
Thank you, Ryan.
And
Agbadu's been fantastic.
And Ryan, he has been fantastic for us, but he is going to be our only signing. We're not selling Hichan because that keeps a Asian ownership to keep their team on television with an Asian player who is fairly well known.
But he's named Chinese.
I understand. I totally understand. There is a
He did
difference
say
between
Asian.
Chinese
He
and,
did say Asian.
and Korean, but
That Korean guy.
he's the Korean guy.
Korean
I
guy.
was
That Korean
I was actually
guy.
talking. I was actually talking to a guy from Korea about he was an Arsenal fan. I think his name was Jake. And Jake, if you're watching,
State Farm?
welcome. Jake from State Farm. No, but he was saying, oh yeah, Heechan, you got Heechan on your team, and I was like, yeah, and I explained to him how I wanted to get a Wolves jersey with that Korean guy or the Korean guy in Korean on the back of the jersey, and then I said to him, I was like, is that it? But I didn't do it because I felt that it might be construed as racist.
I mean, Pep said that Korean guy, so I mean,
And you
Pep
just left?
Legend,
You just left? He didn't say anything?
You left Korea?
I just left.
Mark was in North Korea.
Oh
yeah.
Oh gosh.
With meth.
If I met a Korean person, right, and I say that like I never have, I'll almost certainly have, but if I meet one that I knew that they were Korean,
should we mute this?
Should we mute? Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
Should we just take our own faces off camera for this part?
I don't think I'd be able to help myself because I'm an idiot and I'm socially an idiot, so I wouldn't be able to help myself and just go to them. Do you watch Squid Game? Oh, you thought I was going to say something actually racist? I just meant ignorant and stupid. Under the assumption that because they're Korean, they obviously watch the biggest Netflix show on Netflix, but it's Korean.
See, I would ask them if they watch Physical 100.
See, that's what I was going to say. I was like, isn't Physical 100 the most popular Korean show on Netflix?
Yeah, it's like they made Squid Game for us, but Physical 100 is for them. I like that they don't even dub it. Like, you can't even get a dubbed version of that. And you're like, they're just doing athletic stuff. You can dub them. It's not an artistic choice. But no, you have to listen to all the shit talking.
I was able to get them in. I was able to see it in dub form, and it is hysterical because they're all like commenting and are in awe of each other's physique. Yeah, no one is like, I'm the biggest, baddest dude in the room, and I'm gonna whip all your asses. No, it's like, oh, his physique is very good. Look at him. His muscles are really bulging. Her muscles are incredible. She's in great shape.
My biceps are 5 times the size of his, but I wish I had his calves. And you're like, they're too nice for being this huge.
Exactly.
And then you get the one like American guy that's over in Korea as like a baseball pitcher or something, but then he speaks Korean and it comes out like perfect. And I guess he sounds perfect to me, but I don't know what bad Korean sounds like. But it's an interesting show. What are we talking about, Mark? We were talking
about the thumbnail. We're talking about Premier League football.
We're talking about the thing where you unintentionally basically built up the thing I was about to say because you all thought I was racist. That's what actually happened.
I thought I was being racist.
Massively racist, and I didn't. And it really disappointed to you all.
No, you're never disappointed. Never disappointed.
Well, Tom, let's talk a quick bit about Leeds United. You guys didn't take your chance. You played kind of a shitty game against Burnley on Monday. You could have taken control of first place.
Okay.
What happened there?
I could describe this. I could describe the quality of the Burnley versus Leeds match. Basically, my granddad was he's paralysed, obviously, below the waist, so he could, he's going nowhere. But he watched the Leeds Burnley game, and it was so bad that he actually got up and walked off to make a cup of tea.
Somebody put together an extended highlights of that match, and it started with, and it's a beautiful day at the stadium, and and here's the kickoff, and that's the final whistle, folks.
That was the Leeds Twitter. That was the Leeds TikTok account. Did that?
Tom, you're hysterical.
Thank you, John. At least someone thinks it. But anyway. Sorry. Just So you feel like the person you really want to make proud in life then tells you you're funny, and then you're like, I've just completed life.
That's when you go, gotta go, guys. I'm out.
Look where Derby County is.
You know what I think about Derby County? I think Derby County should go fuck themselves.
All
yeah,
right.
baby.
Where's Frank Lampard's squad?
They've actually been on a good run of form, unfortunately.
That's incredible.
Lampard is managing somebody?
Coventry City.
What? That's
yeah,
like a
I
side
interviewed them and decided to take them on.
It's like a sideways move from Chelsea, right? Very linear,
just
sort of move right there. But Tom, are you totally? How are you feeling about your Leeds United after seeing that sort of performance? Are you a little bit worried? Are you?
No.
Does it feel like the drop is coming anytime soon? What's up?
The thing with Leeds, it can happen at any time. So you have to try and be ready for it, but at the same time, I'd want to try and enjoy it when we do win games. But I don't know if that makes sense, because obviously to Arsenal fans, again, it's like I expect to win every week, and obviously you can't. No one can win every week, and especially in the Championship, you should win every week. We are better than every single one of these teams, but that doesn't mean we're going to win 46 times, because that's not football. And because we're better than them all. Oh, hello, John.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Because we're better than them all, they then play you a lot differently than, say, Cardiff are going to play us differently tomorrow to the way they'll play Burnley, to the way they'll play Middlesbrough, because they'll think they can beat them.
I'm hoping and I'm praying that Leeds gets promoted, just because I'll have to do half of the graphics that I'm doing now. I won't have to do, what I'm doing for On the Stoop. It'll be the same graphics for you. We all love Leeds.
John, didn't you know that because of my affinity for the Championship, I still think we should cover the Championship next year. Simply just because that's what we've been doing every week, John.
Great, perfect. Okay, yeah.
Well, Mark's like, yeah, I think we're gonna have to at this point.
Mark's sitting there like, John, we might be in it.
That's fine, John. That's fine. You don't need me.
Oh crap.
No, I need you. You're going to have to talk fucking Premier League, my friend. I'm sorry that you will have to watch your team.
Well, where are they?
Well, you know what? We're putting the cart before the horse. I mean, we can still.
Where are the Wolves?
The worst thing that would happen. The worst thing that would happen is if Wolves got relegated and Leeds fell into like second or third and had to go to the playoffs and lost the playoffs again. I'd be here by myself.
Right. I actually don't. I don't understand.
Tony, you're not here enough, my friend. You would save me every now and then, but
I don't understand.
Then I'd be like, okay, what did you guys think about the Arsenal match?
I might have made a mistake, Mark.
Okay, that's fine. Because I'm seeing that the Wolves have 17, Leicester has 17 fourth, but we have a better goal differential, which I don't believe that to be true. But
maybe I screwed it up.
I know we've scored 32 goals, and I know we've given up 52.
So that's a 20-goal difference.
But why?
But Leicester is 24 according to this, and I'm
Leicester are on 17 points. That's why. Leicester are on
the Wolves.
No, Wolves are on 16. I'm looking at the schedule right now.
Yeah. So I screwed up.
1-4 and drawn 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Despite everything that I've said in this last hour, I still think Wolves are going to survive.
I do too. I still think Wolves will be fine. Not fine.
As the
No, I get that, Lolo. That's just the saying for like.
Yeah.
You are safe.
I'm just.
They are not fine. They are not fine at all. But I think they will be.
But who goes down? I mean, does Crystal House go down?
Oh, it's going to be Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton.
Yeah, Leicester.
Yeah, I think Leicester. I think you guys can. I think you guys can do it. It doesn't look like you're getting rid of Cunha, so he needs to turn his little. I think the last 3 games, he's been playing with a lot of negative attitude, that you've seen fall out on the pitch because his head has been turned and he is thinking he's hot shit now.
Yeah.
Like when he yelled at Hee-chan in the Arsenal match, Hee-chan's making this great run and Cunha passes it like behind him. And the play breaks down, and they're both yelling at, or Cunha's yelling at him something, and Hee-chan just kind of looks at him and is like, pass it in front of me, you fucking dumbass. Like, what are you yelling at me? Like, he just looked like all this open space, and you're yelling at me? You passed it behind me.
This just becomes that kind of that second tier of, shambolic team play where it's like, all right, well, we're not good enough, and now we have players arguing on the pitch. We have players, so we are no longer a team. We had at least, despite the losses under Gary O'Neill, we played as a team. You didn't see that under Gary O'Neill because Gary O'Neill wouldn't stand for it. And now you have Victor Pereira, who's constantly calling out players, saying this player isn't good enough. I don't like your attitude. And it's just, and now it's like, so what I think is happening is we see players for Wolves that are like fighting for a spot on the team. There's one thing to play for a shitty team, but then there's another thing to sit on the bench and play for a shitty team.
Yeah.
When does the window close? On Monday?
Monday,
6 o'clock our time.
Watch good movies today, to be fair. Anyway, sorry, what?
All right, guys.
Say, that table,
go ahead, Tom.
Just genuinely quickly, that table, Mark, in all seriousness, it's the equivalent of like when 4 people are outrunning 3 wolves. You haven't got to be the fastest one. You just have to outrun the other 3 out of everybody. Right. That's it.
Right.
But
yeah,
you're in a mini league of 4 teams, and you just need to finish top of those 4 teams.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I keep trying to tell myself, but I'm not. I don't want to be delusional.
I'm not just saying
it. I am seeing it. I just, I'm
not saying you will, but I'm saying you can, and I think you can. And obviously, my opinion on Wolves is obviously the most important opinion on Wolves, clearly, and the league table. But no, in all seriousness, I've got faith in you, Mark.
Lawrence, come on the show. Where are you? I'm waiting for you.
Well, maybe Lawrence can join us for the second half of the show. Everybody, we are at halftime. We're going to take a quick little break so that everybody can run to the restroom and replenish their cocktails or whatnot. So for our halftime video, I was thinking earlier playing 16 Years in the Dark, but we didn't really talk about Leeds United enough here. So I think we're going to go with Naked Attractions for today. So enjoy this little...
we all got naked.
Yeah, because we all got naked earlier. If you missed it, play it back, hit the like, subscribe, OnlyFans, heroin, all that. We will be right back in about 4 minutes. So head to the restroom, smoke them if you got them, and we will be right back to do Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom and run down match week 24. So hands off controls. Take it away, John.
Mark, after happy hour the other night, one of our Stoop crew members, Scooby D2. He asked me, what was it about your trip to London that surprised you the most? And I said something.
Beer?
No, I don't know. I said something about fans and things like that. And he goes, no, not about you or the show or anything like that. What is it about? Something about British culture. Was it, the tea, the coffee, the people, the this and that? And I said, oh, I know exactly what it was.
Would I know?
You will know when I say it. Because we were at Bandy's house. One of our Stoop crew members who lives in London invited us to his house. His wife cooks us dinner.
By the way, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
We cannot thank you enough for that home cooked meal.
This is gonna get weird, so don't bring them into it too much. So we're there eating our chicken, jerk chicken or something like that, and Bandy goes, "Oh, I remember the guys telling you about this, but you've never seen it." And he puts on TV Naked Attraction.
Oh my God, I remember that.
And if you're an American and you don't know what naked attraction is,
we didn't.
Don't Google it on your home computer, I guess. Like, he puts it, it's on television. So it's this show where straight away he goes, oh, it's on. And he puts it on. It's on like channel 2 or 3, like not
BBC 1, 2,
not
3,
paid,
4, whatever.
Not paid programming. And right away we see this girl with like a little pixie cut. And
She's got the elf. She's got the elven ears on, which was really odd.
It's like a game show background. And she's like, oh, okay. So here we go. We're going to show you the next one. And they're like, Julie is a bisexual, non-gender neutral something. And I was like, what is this? And then they pan over and there's like 6 people standing there with these like screens covering
all you see is the naughty bits.
Balls.
All you see is the naughty bits.
And she's like, he's clearly a grower, not a shower. And they're showing us his dick on TV.
They're showing both
and then they pan over to the girl and she's like, oh, that's a little more hair than I'm used to, but she's got great vulva. And I'm like, what is
but this is the complete and only criteria. It's not like Chuck Woolery. Like Chuck Woolery is coming out and goes, so how was that first date? You know, I'll be back in 2 and 2. No. The whole camera is focused on their naughty bits, and that's how they're to decide whether or not they want to date them.
So then they pan over to the next guy, and he's like flipping it. Flip.
He's got the horse stick.
And the host goes, oh, well, somebody's getting excited to see you. And then she's like, well, he's clearly not a shower. And it was like...
It was absolutely
and once again,
mind-boggling
chicken.
That someone had come up with this idea of a show. I mean, we've seen like I've seen Naked and Afraid, which is kind of like the Survivor.
And they blur it all because you don't want to see vulva while they're
This is the States, but this is literally the only thing they focus on. For how you are to decide.
Right, we didn't watch the whole show, so who knows? Maybe they move up.
I've got an idea that it's like that's all you see. Then they go on a date, and then you meet the person. You know, because I can't imagine that they've got like sacks on and they walk out on stage.
Oh, their sacks were on.
Their sacks were definitely on.
Anyway, so if that was the thing we found the
most odd. Of British
interesting,
culture.
Odd, something like that of British culture. And yeah, can't wait to see the American version where they're like, ooh, I like those boxer shorts because they're not going to show anything. Naked Attractions, season 5, coming to the Stoop.
They'll be back in 2 and 2.
We'll just film it like this.
Welcome. Do you prefer Mark or Lolo?
Welcome to the Stoop, everybody.
Well, Lolo's clearly got some issues here.
Yes.
And we now do have Naked Attractions. It's on HBO.
Really?
So you can watch Naked Attractions.
So it's just like a bar or something?
No. They show everything. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, Lolo. What's up, Mark? What's up?
Dear God, Tony, you've aged terribly.
What's that?
Tony, you've aged terribly.
Oh,
that was a weird bio break.
What the hell happened in that toilet?
Oh, jeez. Thank you.
You went in it looking like Tony, and then you come out looking like Lawrence.
That's right.
Come on. All right, Lawrence, let's get it over with. Get your junior league fetish out of the way, sir.
No, I'm not going to do anything. Nice to see you, Tom. Nice haircut. You just got out of jail, I see. They've had to make sure there's no lice in there. Okay, it's all good.
That's exactly what happened. I started eating the lice because I loved it so much.
No, all good, my friends.
Well, Lawrence, good to see you on the show. Good to see you on the show. Before we get to betting in the dark, why don't we get a little of your thoughts on everything that we were talking about earlier in the show? Of course, there's that Arsenal red card. We don't have to talk about that if you don't want. But West Ham doing some stuff, making some bids for some strikers. Anything that you want to talk about before we get into the next segment?
A quick 60 seconds. I think our closest thing is Ferguson from Brighton. That may happen right now, but there's so many rumors. We all have that, especially like our team. We're not a top team, so I kind of try to ignore it until it actually happens. When I hear that they're getting a medical, then I know there's might be something happening now. I'd like to get some Brighton. We really need some kind of striker. We are getting a little healthy. I was happy with the last results, the 1-1 with Villa. Second half, we could have won that match. You know, we were all texting, or at least I was myself, to myself, that it was better. So I'm happy with that. And Chelsea is a big match on Monday. We'll go with the transfer window, as we all know, especially with a small club like us, not as small as Mark's club or Tom's club, but we're a little higher. But anyway, we are, you know, you just got to go through the punches. So.
Yeah. You guys put in a bid for Ricardo Pepi.
Yes, and Noah, and you sent that to us, actually.
Yeah,
Lolo, thank you.
Ricardo
Thank you,
Pepi, a young kid from El Paso, Texas. That's my hometown. John, keeping up with, that should be number 7 if you're still on 10 minutes for every beer.
It's only 4.
I like you saying that, Lolo. You gave us a good breakdown to it. You say he's more like a Diaz type of striker?
Very similar. He's got a similar build to Diaz. He's like the small, skinny, fast poacher. He's a guy that for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, I've seen a bit from that. Yeah,
they've been reluctant to give him too much game time because he's so young. In American standards,
sure.
In Europe, he would have been starting for 6 years already. But he is a damn good player that you could get for relatively cheap and then sell him off in a couple years if he played well. And right now you're desperate. So
and
he
no
would
way,
play.
And you were polite. You were polite when you said about strikers for West Ham, because if you know West Ham, we are a jinx on getting any striker, or at least knowing how to have a striker. You know, like we had Hilaire, he would leave and he would do great. You know, so I would try anything. You know, right now we're trying to turn a new leaf over, and I'm my faith's in Potter and stuff like that. So I think that'd be excellent. Anything right now. With Fulkrug being out, Antonio's out because of the accident, we have nobody else. We're putting some strong, good forwards, like the wingers, like Bowen's better on the right, or Kudus is better on the right, and we have to put them as the front forward striker because we have no one else. So anything could be an improvement. But
you want me to tell you who the signing that would change your entire season around?
Who?
It's one nobody's talking about, and it's gotta happen. He has one of my favorite chants is for him, and it's so fitting now. This is why he has to come to your club, and I'll sing his chant. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Harry Potter, he's coming for you. John Joe Shelby, you need to sign Voldemort. You have Potter. You need to sign Voldemort. I don't know what he's up to right now. He's probably a garbage man somewhere.
No, Voldemort went to Burnley.
Voldemort. See, you know what? I love Anthony. He loves to bust chops on West Ham. Me and Tony bust our chops. Where's Anthony? Tell Anthony, come on.
Voldemort was in the crowd on Monday night, and I suspect that's why the game was as shit as it was. Because I think he put a hex on things. He made it rain.
But I can tell you one thing, and we're going to go to another thing, and I appreciate you, Lolo, for allowing me to talk a little West Ham before we go on. But that second half against Villa, we looked very impressive. Everybody knows it was I thought that was one of our best part, and we were hurt. And what Potter is doing for West Ham is he's starting to play some of the young players. I was always rated Skiles. He's if you guys don't know, he came out through the league, very good left back, doing really good, and he can play midfield. And the people are saying, and I agree with him, as he's growing, he's a young guy, that he could be another Rice, how he plays and how because he can go up the field, he can take the ball off the pitch. He just don't defend. He carries it up, and as he's growing, he's becoming into a man. You know what I mean? So I like Potter straight. It's very early, so I don't ever want to judge, but I like what I see, especially with so many injuries that we have.
And one more thing on West Ham, but when we think about it, when we look back to all the players that moved this summer, that found new teams this summer, if you look at it and you were to say who has been the best straight up signing from this summer, year one,
Oh, gotcha.
first season with a club, who has made the biggest difference and who has maintained their level? The Mexican Juan Bisaca. He's not Mexican. Juan Bisaca.
Juan Bisaca is my man. I call him Spider-Man.
Phenomenal for you.
You ever see when he goes off the pitch how he stretches out? He's got legs like a gazelle. So he'll take it up there, and these defenders can't even catch up to this mother guy. This guy is just, when he gets on his strides, that's why a lot of times instead of a 4-back, we'll play 3 center backs and we'll have the wings out there, because he has that capability that you need to bring him up the pitch. And I'm with you, Lolo. He's been my guy. That second half, Paqueta had a good second half. He had the fancy stuff and all that. But if you watch that second half for West Ham, Juan Bisaca was the guy. And that's my man, Lolo.
Well, I mean, honestly, what other transfers from the summer would you guys say are up there? We've got
not many. We had a lot.
Daniel is saying Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray has done well, but he hasn't lit it up the way.
He's saying out of the transfers because Archie Gray's not with West Ham, so he's saying
no. I'm saying transfers for any club. For any club, look at it this year. Any club, who did they sign this summer that has made that big of a difference?
I got to think. I have to think now about that one. You're right.
He has made a big difference for Tottenham, though. To be fair to him, because if they didn't have him, they'd have no one.
Yeah, I don't think he would have played this much. Had they stayed healthy, he wouldn't have played this much.
That's true too. That's true.
He has cost them in a lot of games, but he shouldn't be in that position in the first place because he's literally out of position.
And what that brings up another point, though, and we want to murder, and trust me, I love Lolo's. I hate the Spuds suck and all that stuff. But you got to have something. When you have so many decimated injuries, how do you expect to perform? How's the manager supposed to do that? It's very difficult. West Ham's going through it now, and we're not nearly as close. But when you have those injuries, you have people have to step up. But the accountability is hard. A lot of places, like the top teams, do have depth that could start for the teams that are below 10. You know what I mean? But below 10, when your top team goes down, your top players go down, your depth is very, very low. And when I, again, go back to my team for West Ham, and I like about Potter is what he's doing now is he's starting to bring up the young boys. Now our mistake, it's not a mistake but before Potter got here, we got rid of some are really Potts, earthy. We loaned them off so they could get some playing time. But now if it was under Potter's things, he probably would have brought them up early. They would have got playing time. Moyes never played young guys. Like Lopetegui never played. Lopetegui was loose, but they never played the young guys. Potter is bringing up the academy. And if you guys ever want to look at the record, West Ham had a very strong academy for many years. We've been very strong. So bring these guys up when you don't have that, especially when you're not a top 7 team, and see what happens.
Yeah, correct. Ryan G here says Baliba from Brighton. He's been a fantastic signing out of nowhere. Good shout there. Also said Milinkovic from Forest.
Great,
and Daniel agrees
great shout, Daniel, with that one, because I have him on my fans. He's my
Milinkovic was what, like 12 million or something like that? Some ridiculously low price.
Left back, right? Left back.
He has been. What?
I don't understand. Why none of you naming outta? The greatest central midfielder I've ever seen.
I hate to tell you this, Tom, but
he's not on my sheet.
I had a caveat in this question, and it was in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Leeds are in the Premier League in my heart.
Tom wants me just to talk about he's just begging me to talk about the Junior League, and I don't want to do that, Tom, because I like you, and I like your new haircut. So I'm going to try to ignore that because you're my friend.
Give me a second. Sorry, I'm throwing a big fishing line. I'm ruin you some fucking bait.
No, Tom, like I said, it's like a volleyball. You sit up, you keep making me want to spike that goddamn thing. I don't want to do that to you because you're a good guy.
Generational talent. About 3 million. Lovely.
Okay. I think I would go outside the Premier League if I was to pick a transfer that did really well.
For what position? And for what?
Midfield.
For what team? For what team?
Bayern Munich.
Oh yeah, who?
I think Elise going to Byron in the summertime was a really good pickup. I like that kid.
That's fantastic.
You know,
he slotted in well. It could have gone either way. He, because he's so young, and it's not like he was a locked-in starter for Crystal Palace. He was always, he'd start and then wouldn't start and
make money off him though.
But he hit the ground running, and he's been fantastic for them. Yeah, absolutely fantastic for them. Good shout on that as well. But no, to be fair, Tanaka, right? Am I just coming up
really
with
good?
Yeah, Tanaka has been absolutely. He's been great as well. And I would say for Arsenal,
Tanaka a wrestler.
You're talking about
Tatanka. You're thinking of Tatanka.
No, Tora Tanaka.
The one from he was in James Bond, wasn't he?
No, Tora Tanaka. Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's an actor who went in. He was wrestler and actor.
Was he a wrestler in like the 70s, 80s, probably?
With Bob Backlund and in
the 60s, he ended up in wrestling 60s and 70s, and he wrestled as Toru Tanaka, and but he ended up doing didn't he play Odd Job?
What picture? I lost it.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
There you go. Lawrence, I have a question. Is that Cal Ripken?
That behind me, I like that you said that, John, and it's signed. That's an autographed picture of Brooks Robinson, 1970 World Series. I'm from Baltimore, by the way.
Wow.
And it's signed. And guess who's that catcher that's going in there? Johnny Bench, the Big Red Machine.
Oh, cool.
So, and I was born in 1970, show my age. So and I'm a huge Oriole fan. So that's it. That's what it is. So, John.
I got a lot of love for the Orioles, Cal Ripken Jr. era. That's when I was playing baseball. It was my dad's favorite player besides Johnny Bench, but current player was Cal Ripken Jr. at the time, and we followed it until he. I think I even had my cleats. My dad got me the cleats that had the number like 3,800, whatever. Across the top. That's we had the Cal Ripken gloves. My dad got us. We were middle infielders, so he got us the Cal Ripken gloves that were like barely bigger than your fingers.
Yeah.
Because my dad's like, you don't use like this. Yeah. You catch with your hand. The ball hits you in the hand, so you can do boom, boom.
Lolo, I'm sorry, that's exactly how it was back in the day. And John would probably know. I know back in the day for the Orioles was Mark Belanger, and he would have a glove, and it would be no more than maybe a inch above.
It was like a paddle.
It wasn't 100%. It wasn't about the gloves there. It's like you're catching like this, and that's how they did back in the day. 100%.
You let it hit your palm because you could get it quicker than if it went into your. And my dad would always tell me, he's like, "You're slow. You're slow because you're catching it in the web. You're catching it in the web." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it hurts." And he's like, "You're also being a bitch."
You're soft. You're soft, son. That's how you do it.
You're soft. SOFT, soft. Guys, let's get to it. We spent 23 minutes talking to Lawrence, which is Lawrence, I gotta say, we're gonna have to charge you.
22 and a half minutes too long.
We're gonna have to charge. We're gonna charge you on your WhatsApp account for those minutes. No, it was a good conversation. So let's get to betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. It's about that time. Let's do it.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Hey everyone, roll up. Even Lawrence, roll up, because I just want to tell you before we get to it, I think West Ham will have a difficult time on Monday night. A very difficult time. I don't think it's going to go your way. But let's get into it. And Lolo, your disclaimers, please.
Yes. This is Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom, where we ask him to find us the craziest bets that he can find that could still possibly happen if everything plays out right. But these bets will turn £1 or the conversion. Thank you very much, Director John. $1.24, $1.24 could turn into hundreds of dollars or pounds. In goal.
It was 127 last week.
Yeah, it's going down, man. Trump's in office. Here we go. We're about to own you guys.
It was 124 last week too.
Well, it was 127 one of the weeks because I distinctly remember.
Yeah, because we remembered it was my conversion that week. It was like 2 weeks ago or so. But as we say, these bets are crazy and will make you a ton of money because they are terrible bets. So please do not place them and blame losing your house on us because it's your own goddamn fault. And when the fun stops, stop. But if you win, send us photos. All right, take it away, Tom.
If you actually do win, you should actually spend some of the money on the Mark Dice Clay outfit and then take a photo of that. Because look at Mark's happy little face, thinking of a time when he was a winner.
Oh, that was so long ago. So long ago. But you know what? Everyone here, y'all a winner in my eyes.
That just means he's due, Mark. That means Tom is due. He's due a win here.
I am due. I'm totally due. Lawrence, you alive?
You're ampa due.
Sorry, I lost it. Sorry, buddy.
No problem. No problem.
My internet lost it.
I got worried that something had happened because I like having you around to fucking troll. Anyway, sorry. What? Murder Gun. It's Murder Gun, everyone. Even Chris from Dirty Jersey has basically gone, watch Murder Gun. It's on the way at some point. 2092, I imagine. They're going to get Steven Seagal's
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, what? Anyway, let's go for the first one. Please direct to John. We're going for the Wolves to win tomorrow.
Jesus
baby.
Christ.
Yeah,
Mark
baby.
must have paid your ass off for that one.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
No.
Money, baby.
Let me look at my list.
I don't make any money. I can't pay people off.
Mark, I guess you don't catch sarcasm, but anyway.
I definitely catch the sarcasm.
I have 3-1 Aston Villa. And you know me, you guys always I bring my chart, just in case you don't believe me.
Well,
I think it's a local derby. I think Wolves have got to get points on the board somehow. And
that's true. That's true. I cheer for Mark sometimes.
It was actually true.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's factually true, but I've got this feeling that whenever Villa play in a European game, what do you call it? Whenever Villa have played a Champions League game, they don't win on the weekend.
Good shout.
I don't know if it's actually true, but it feels like it's true because they don't have the squad depth.
Tom, I think that's finally a good shout. I think they definitely playing a game during the week affects them for sure, more than a lot of other teams. I agree with that. And at the end of the day, in my opinion on that also is that Watkins has not had the year that he normally has. But good shout, Tom.
This bet kind of works for me because as Tom has pointed out, Aston Villa played on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Rogers with a hat trick, but he played a full 90.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins, he also played a full 90. So there's going to be some fatigue involved. I'm hoping.
Yeah. But what's Cunha gonna do though, Mark? That's the thing about that. Cunha's gonna be a guy that now. I hate to say it, but if West Ham wanted to pick up, I wouldn't. He seems like a cancer to me. Attitude problem all the time. The new manager. I saw him on the sidelines even last match, and the coach is trying to tell him what to do, and he's still kind of like that. After he already whooped some people's asses on different teams and all that. I don't trust that guy. I think he's kind of a nutcase.
I don't think that's the case. I think I don't want to excuse anybody's poor behavior.
Sure.
I will say that, I can see where you're a little pissed because, he was Gary O'Neill's guy. Cunha loved Gary O'Neill, loved playing for him. And guess what? Still losing with this other guy. So what was wrong with the guy that we liked?
But I thought he had issues even with Gary O'Neill there. I'm sorry, Mark, but he was an attitude before that. So
no,
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
I don't think so.
Listen,
and I've also said on the show that
I know
that losing will beat you down.
Yeah, but you had the captain badge, and then when they had the altercation, was O'Neill still the manager?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That was actually that was what got him fired.
Okay.
Sorry, who are you talking about?
But
Cunha.
I thought so. I'm just making sure.
So your logic, Lolo, makes no sense because he had the outburst with O'Neill. No, you said that. No, I thought you were saying I saw you shaking your head because Cunha's actions happened when O'Neill was the manager.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so you have some time travel thing in your head where you've already know my argument. So let me say it for the rest of the people who haven't heard it already. My thing with Cunha is you didn't see any attitude come out earlier in the season. It wasn't until Cunha started lighting up the place, and it was as soon as he started to feel that he was better than everybody else that the attitude started coming out. And at first, it wasn't at his own team, and which is why the team stuck with him and supported him, and Gary O'Neill supported him because it was towards the opposition who knows what's happening down there. Maybe they're talking shit, maybe they're whatever they're doing, and he was outward. Then the transfer window opened, and people are like, "Oh, Cunha." Then, so to me, he drank his own Kool-Aid earlier in the season when he was the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Then he drank more of his own Kool-Aid when all the transfer rumors started about him. Now he's starting to yell at his own people. So I feel like he's not necessarily a bad egg that fights with everybody. I think it's a situation where he's a young kid still, let's be honest, and his ego has been inflated in a short amount of time, so it can still be fixed. It can still be addressed. I don't think it's a never-ending thing with him.
Good. I apologize.
I think
it makes sense.
For me, the fan of the team in question and the player in question, I personally think that currently where things sit now, I think he would very much like to go, and I think he is trying to convince all those around him that it is in Wolves' best interest to sell him off.
Yeah.
If they can't sell him off, I think you will see the Cunha of old come back and go, "This is my lot. This is what I have to do. I'm here for the next however many games, and I'm just going to put my best foot forward because come summertime, this is what I want people to focus on." And I think the same thing. I think the same thing for Mario Lemina. And if they don't sell Lemina off, and Pereira is forced to use him because it's just out of necessity, and Mario has been trying to talk his way back into the squad. Yeah. Pereira doesn't want to have anything to do with him until he has to, and he has said, "We'll see if we don't sell him. Let's see what happens." Yeah. And I think you're gonna, you could very well see a better,
Lemina.
better results for Wolves because what we're seeing players that I'm used to seeing on the pitch no longer get to play together. Yeah. João Gomes, Mario Lemina, and Matheus Cunha. When's the last time you saw them all three on the pitch together?
The last time I saw a Wolves match was when you played Arsenal. So
I don't expect you to. That was a rhetorical question, and not one
kidding.
I was expecting an answer for.
I actually watch more Wolves matches than most Arsenal fans. Just for you, Mark.
And I want Tom to continue.
But Mark, I think you're
January 49th, 2022.
January 49th. Yep, perfect.
But I think
Cunha will he will have to come back because just as quickly as his stock rose, and it rose quick and fast, it could, if he blanks the rest of the season, he goes back to being a 30 million, 40 million pound player in the summer, and nobody has interest in him because we saw him give up. If he sees the window close without him going anywhere, and he goes, okay, this, as you said, this is my lot in life. Here we go. I'm going to do the best for my team. And he bangs in goals and gives out his all for the rest of the season, no matter what happens to Wolves. His stock can remain high, and Wolves can actually get some money for it. So,
I've seen people buy players make even less effort than Kuna. If they think there's a player in there, they'll pay whatever it is.
Kuna's downfall and his issue started when he had that fight in the West Ham match at the end when he took Bowen down. And during this fight, he started breaking up his own players and started getting the manager there. That's where it started the issue there when the question, it just got worse and other games are progressing. And it could have been frustration or whatever. But it started.
I'm not going there. I'm not
going
there.
But it started there, Mark. For a fact.
No, but you and I will see what happened there very, very differently.
Yeah, we would.
As far as I'm concerned, Bowen was the shit starter that day, but that's on for a whole nother show. But this is Mr. Tom's segment,
Tom, go, Tom.
No problem. I appreciate that, gentlemen. Thank you for that. So if you wouldn't mind, Director John, the greatest director in the business, by the way, of course. Well, arguably, he's the only director in YouTube business, but you'd never replace him anyway. But we've got the Arsenal versus Manchester City, and can I shock you, Lolo? I've picked your team to win.
Ah, fuck. That means that's not going to happen. Shit. Kind of wish you would have gone the other way here. Waneri to score?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. I'll do it.
There's money to be made.
I might flip this. I might make Waneri the first goal scorer and Havertz but Havertz is not in the best of form. He's been doing his best. He's been doing his best imitation of Patrick Bamford lately.
He has. I'll give you that. To be fair,
the only consolation, Mark, is that all these missed chances. I think he's probably got 7 or 8 missed chances, like fucking dead-on chances in the last 4 or 5 games. That does mean that he's in the right spot. He's where he needs to be. So you gotta think it's gonna change. But so yeah, you're saying Kai Havertz just to score the last goal.
Yeah, I guess he would be last. He would be last goal scorer, which would increase the payout, wouldn't it?
No, it's the same thing.
Nah.
They'll give you the same odds because
you're giving correct score.
Yeah, it's like putting Arsenal to win 2-0 and then putting on another line, Arsenal money line. They're gonna say it doesn't matter.
I'll give me a minute. I'll do it. I'll chat amongst yourselves, but I'll do it with the reverse.
But Mark, I would be interested to see if you're putting these bets in, if you put Kai Havertz to score first, Waneri to score, and then do a second one that is Kai Havertz to score and Waneri to score last.
Yeah.
To see if it's any different.
What the difference being?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be anything different. But we may have just found a way to cheat the system into letting us place 2 horrible bets.
To be fair, I did this on Thursday morning, so the payouts will almost certainly be different, even if you did the same thing.
It is. It is, Tom. That is Mr. Tom. We made him wear an Arsenal kit, and that's the photo we got.
That's 100% what happened. But also, did you notice the quote that Director John attributed to me? Which I will back. It's probably true. They'll still find something to cry about, even if they did win 2-0.
Yep.
Hang on, what we're doing. So we'll go Ethan Waneri to score first.
All right. So in FanDuel, which is the betting site that I use. This bet actually does a little bit better. It is would be $233 to 1. If you were to flip it and have Unwary, one airy, I'm not even going to try, folks. I'm going to get it wrong.
You got it right the second time. One area.
Ethan.
One airy. If he becomes the first goal scorer, it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
should be. All right, Tom. Let's see your next one.
Well, unfortunately, you know, when I was telling Lawrence that it wasn't going to be a good night for his team, I lied, Jesse. I think you're going to win. Yeah, baby. But I've gone for a very different one. I think Thomas Souček is going to score first because as far as I'm aware, he's the only player.
I like Tony's picture up there, by the way, because he's a legend. And you're very gracious on the score, but I'll take it.
I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling you're going to go there and win.
I went for a 2-1 West Ham.
I've got more faith than you have, sir. But I want this to happen because I want to be right.
Yeah, and if you do, I want to run down the street like Frank the Tank, naked, just screaming.
You know what? Now that I know that, if it actually is 3-1 going into the 94th minute, I'm going to make a phone call to Harry Potter and then basically go, Harry, do you really want to know that Lawrence is running down the street naked in the next 20 seconds? And
Oi!
He's going to go, no.
Oi, Tinkerbell, turn off your mic.
Tinkerbell. That's what I didn't even pay attention.
Who are we talking about, Tinkerbell?
You Tinklebell.
Talking about the Kissmaster.
I did last week, so I can't say nothing.
I heard about that.
You heard of it, I'm sure.
I heard about that. But to be fair, when I heard it, I literally sat there with the, you know, like when you've been told something, but they're telling you like it's the greatest thing ever. But I'm like, well, I've heard Lolo piss 76 times since I started doing this show. So I'm like, tell me something. At least tell me something like Lawrence actually did cartwheels while he was doing it, or something like that. But no, it's just you just casually pissing with your microphone on. I was like, I've heard Lolo piss more times than I can count. So you know.
Well, my audio had changed my microphone to my Bluetooth. So you guys, do I sound differently now?
You sound better now.
Yeah, so why don't you tell me that I sound like shit? I'm probably coming from my fucking thing.
We're just happy it works.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it works. Fantastic. He's not cutting out. We're not seeing Picasso or bitmap or whatever. You know, we've got you in full 64.
Yeah, but you can just say you sound like crap. By the way, just to let you know, I don't know if something's wrong with your fucking setup there, because StreamYard auto switches me over to my headphone. We know
that there's stuff wrong with your internet, so don't worry.
Yeah, but when it goes on for an hour and a half, fuck. This entire
I can hear you okay. No, I can hear you good, Lolo. I don't know.
Hey, let's
you
get
can
to
hear
the
me
last
okay,
one.
or you can hear me good. These are the
It's
standards.
I forgot.
I'll carry out an editing meeting right now, John.
From
next week,
now you sound more in stereo. Okay?
When you put up the magic free, because every week, John, I forget that you add the Mr. Tom at the top. So Mr. Tom's the magic free doesn't really sound right, but I always forget that every week. So I should just write magic free. Really.
Then you should put like Lawrence the champion or something of the European League or something.
Yeah. So I'm just carrying out an edit.
So we can do that offline. We'll talk that offline. Oh, geez, what the hell? I didn't know it was a big nugget.
Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. It's that nutcase from those videos on that TikTok thing.
Do you know? I didn't pay attention. I didn't notice that you had my big nugget up there with my eyeballs popping out. It just took me now. But anyway, I can take the insult.
And we'll do it again next week, probably.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure you will. All respect.
But yeah, we've got to go Wolves, Arsenal, West Ham. The Wolves, the Arsenal, and West Ham to win £49.50.
That doesn't seem like enough. That doesn't seem like enough. Like,
what do you mean, money wise?
Yeah, I mean, Wolves are playing against who?
Wolves are at home.
Wolves are at Villa.
Wolves are at
Wolves
home.
That's a beatable
Wolves-
game, Mark. I'm going to cheer for Mark. I want them
Wolves to beat Villa, Arsenal to
Villa's
beat
beatable.
City, West Ham to beat Chelsea. This should be 100-1. It's not going to happen. Those three things are not going to happen. One of these teams will fuck that up. This should be 100-1 odds.
Tell you what, we're going to do it again right now.
Right? Ryan G agrees with me.
This
50
is
to 1. Crazy.
I agree, though, Lolo. It's kind of it should be more than that.
Wolves to beat Villa. Wolves to beat Villa
Chelsea,
should be 50-1.
And
West Ham to beat Chelsea should be 30-1. Arsenal to beat City should be like 5-1.
And you know you're the favourites, though, right? Yeah. You're betting wise, you are the favourite to beat Manchester City.
That's fucking nonsense.
I say that's a draw. I call that as a draw. 2-2.
Yeah, it's a draw. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if I put that in for £1, it will pay $49.73 because Arsenal's odds are favourite. Yeah. Wolves are. Excuse me. Let me find this again. Wolves are slight favourite, not favourite. Slight
Ryan
outsider.
G, you and I are right on the same page here.
Wolves are 12-5.
But come on, Wolves beating Villa. Now maybe they're super smart with their metrics.
Because they know Villa are shit after they play in Europe.
After they play in Europe, yeah.
That's why I said Thomas in there. I agree with that. It's a good show.
You mean these betting people know more than I do?
Hey, like I told you about the Man U game thing. Remember, Lolo? Take the money and run. It didn't help you much.
Yeah,
right?
And I should have fucking held out.
I know.
I should have held out, but I agree. So I had this bet last week where I needed like 3 or 4 teams to win or draw, and I got all the way to. I needed Man United to win or draw against who? Who were they playing? Brighton? Was it? No. Who was Man United playing last week? Fulham. Yeah, I needed Man United to win or draw, and I would win like $25 for like a $1 bet. But they were offering me like $15 to cash out. And I asked the guys, and Lawrence immediately says, take the money and run. Bunch of other people say, fuck Man United, all that stuff. And then I thought about it. I was like, the next 2 hours, am I going to sit here and actively root for Man United?
That's true.
To make at most $10 more. So I said, fuck that. And I cashed out at like $14. Took my money.
I'll remember word for word what I actually responded to this. I remember.
What did you say?
I remember the exact thing I wrote was, I'd be surprised as I'm typing it if you've not already cashed it out.
No, I do remember you saying that. I remember that. Yeah.
Because it's not like as you just said. I wouldn't want to sit there waiting 2 hours for Man United to try and win me $10.
But I thought you got out of all the groups.
I'd give you 15.
I was in it on Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
To see this.
See, like,
you gotta get back, Tom. Tom needs you back. Need you back.
I didn't cash
back, Tom. Need you back, Tom.
Started as soon as the match started, which means they were level 0-0, which is what I'm betting for. As soon as the match started, it went down to like $13 cash out.
Yeah.
So I actually made less money because I asked you guys first what I should do.
Well, that was your first mistake, but we'll
how they get you.
But we will give you our opinion.
They punish you for your hesitancy.
But see, I knew I was going to be watching that match. Like I was working from home, and I was like, okay, 3:00. Here's the match. This is what I'm going to watch. Yeah. And I was like, I can't sit here and fucking
root for MU. And then no, you're so right. Sometimes, like, I'm not going to cheer for this.
It's not worth $10 to me. It's not worth $10. I've already turned $1 into 13. Like, let's.
100%.
Call it a fucking day. All right, guys. Well, we're down to the last 10 minutes of the show, which is when we like to place all of our make all of our predictions for 20 matches between 4 people, which sounds like great time management skills. If anybody's out there hiring, we are very good at managing time. So 10 minutes. Let's take a look at the schedule for this upcoming week.
There we are.
All right, guys, we're going to do this quick and dirty. A little bit bigger, a little bit stretched out. There we go. Looks fantastic. Nottingham Forest, Brighton. Can Nottingham Forest bounce back from Bournemouth, or are they done? Are they done? Are they just going to collapse?
They're bouncing back. 2-1 Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest playing pretty well at home.
That's what John said. That's what Ryan G said. Are you just copying them, Mark?
No, I wasn't. I don't look at the comments, man. I turn them off.
I'm going to step away for a few minutes.
Okay, I'll do it. Well, Mark, maybe you were copying me in the future because that's what I said earlier in the past. In the future, in my head, I said 2-1 Nottingham Forest as well. I don't think they keep that clean sheet, but.
Just Tom or me.
Whoever wants to step up.
We don't have time.
I would rather eat my asshole with a spoon than watch this Nottingham Forest versus Brighton.
Fantastic. I'll look for that on DraftKings.
I think it's going to be a 2-2. I think Forest is still, they got their ass pummeled by Bournemouth, but I think Brighton comes back. I'm going to call it a draw, 2-2.
All right, let's go Bournemouth, Liverpool. Can Bournemouth, the giant killers, as they've been all season, can they do a damn tang on Liverpool?
I do. I think Bournemouth gets at least a point here. Your second loss in all competitions this year. I think Liverpool's going, hey, wait a minute, how did we lose that? And it's going to sit and eat in their head. Bournemouth is playing really well, and they're like, you know what? We're at home. We can get these guys. Bournemouth plays pretty good defense. I'm going 1-0. 1-0 Bournemouth.
Good shout, Mark, but I think you're wrong. I really believe it. They're finally, after 11 or 12 games, they're going to finally lose. It's going to be 1-2 Liverpool. But I think, again, no disrespect there, Mark, because I think Bournemouth is fire right now. So this is on the edge for me, but I think their streak's going to end today or tomorrow.
What was your prediction?
1-2 Liverpool.
Good shot from Lawrence is what I'd be saying if I actually agreed with him. But it's going to be 4-4.
4-4, you freaking clown.
Jesus Christ.
4-4. Not a bad shout.
Congratulations, you're the new Fallout Boy. Which is what I would say if you won.
Yeah.
That's for you, Tom.
Yeah, baby.
I'm going with the Desmond on this. I think it's a back and forth match. I think it's wide open, and I think it's 2-2.
Wow.
Everton Leicester. I think Everton keep another clean sheet. This is their first. They have 2 matches this week, so they need to conserve a little bit of energy. But I think they'll just hold it down at Goodison, and I think they're going to get a goal. It's going to be 1-0. They're missing a couple players who I think Calvert-Lewin's out. Somebody else is out. I think it's going to be 1-0 Everton. And we're going to see a few of these for the rest of the season. 1-0 to the Everton. Moyes boys back in action.
Yeah, I think
Ryan G, me and you, man. Me and you all day.
I think Dominic being out is going to be a little more painful for Everton than you might think. They do have, who is it, Beto, that they can put in that spot. Leicester fighting for their lives. Both teams with new managers. I'm going 1-1. This is a draw.
Mark is a smart man. All right, Mark. I mean, I don't need time to jump over you, but Mark was right on my spot. I had 1-1 the same well, so he's a very smart guy. And
I think Vardy scores here. He's
I love Vardy. And I can tell you right now, Moyes has got 2 matches, 6 points. I even hate to give him the 7th because I just threw up in my mouth. But it's going to be 1-1. I agree with Mark.
All right, Tom.
What match are you all talking about?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Leeds
matter,
and
Tom.
Cardiff.
I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Tom, you're never going to pick Everton anyway, so we know what you're going to do. It's just like 47 to nothing.
I don't like either team. I don't like either team, obviously, because I don't like most teams. But I do think Everton are going to win this.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not saying I want Everton to win this. I mean, I wish there was a way they both could lose and be relegated.
What's your score, Tom?
46-44. I don't know.
That would be a good bet.
That
would
be
good game, as in terrible. All right, let's go Ipswich Southampton. Let's start from the bottom here, Lawrence. Ipswich Southampton. Somebody here said Ipswich Saints could be a rugby score. Jimmy,
what does that even mean?
I don't know what that means.
Rugby score is like 8 million to 74.
It's scored like American football.
My prediction is going to be a 1-1. I think both teams are like at the bottom there. Ipswich should probably have a little better half. Southampton, I predicted them not to score the last couple of matches, and they scored. So I'm saying 1-1.
Tom?
Well, somebody eat some corn chips.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to this because it's going to be a great advert for what we can expect in the Championship in August. But no, in all seriousness, in all seriousness, they are going to get relegated. But again, in all seriousness, I just feel like it's going to have the desperation of. There's no other game that Ipswich and Southampton are going to play where they feel like they can beat the other. So it's actually more attacking than anyone's going to actually assume. I know people are saying like 3-3 and 2-2 for that reason, because the first team Ipswich go look at on this fixture list is when are we playing the playoff team. And things like that. And Southampton will be like, when are we going to be playing Ipswich? Because that's 6 points on the board. I don't know who won the first game when they played each other.
So you think it'll be tighter?
Southampton.
You think it'll be tighter?
You think it's going to be high scoring, Tom?
You think it'll be low score?
I think so, but Tom?
No, I don't think it'll be high scoring. I think they think it's going to be high scoring because they could fit. Who else are they going to play where they think they have a chance of scoring? They'll cancel each other out, but they won't try to.
So what score do you think, Tom?
14-15. No, I don't know. It's fuck them all. Fuck them both. Anyway, 0-0. It'll be 0-0. Fuck it.
But Tom, honestly, when teams come into it thinking that it's going to be a high scoring game, thinking that they can get a lot out of it, that leaves them open at the back, which leaves the other team open to score goals. So it does end up being.
They're going to but they're both going to think the same thing about each other.
So it's it's so it's going to be open in the back then.
Yeah.
Just like Mark's OnlyFans channel, it's going to be wide open in the back. Is what we're saying.
Man, you're watching the wrong show, man.
Mark, I've been subscribed to your OnlyFans for 3 years already, man. It's incredible content. I know you don't know what it is, but I put a camera in your house. It's
and I apparently moved it, huh?
The original house or this one?
I did.
Right. This is going to be it is going to be a El Crapico in every sense of the word. You got Ipswich, who's given up, I believe, 12 goals in the last 3 weeks. Southampton, 9 goals in the last 3 weeks. But Southampton's actually been able to score, and Ipswich, I think, has only scored 1. I think Southampton gets this one, and I think it's 1-0.
Wow.
It's not terrible. It could be close.
Mean Liam Delap?
It could happen.
No, I'm going with a Delap trick. I'm going 3-0 Ipswich. Number
John
10,
with the
John.
Budweiser. U.S. America.
John with the number 10 Budweiser.
America.
There you go. I'm going with the Liam Delap hat trick.
Only number 5.
3-0. Southampton loses that one, and they are relegated.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go Newcastle Fulham.
Someone needs to.
3-2 Newcastle. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's going to be 3-2 Newcastle.
Should we give Tony a call right now to wake him up and ask him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where is he now?
No, I heard him say earlier. I heard him say earlier it was going to be 0-3. Fulham are going to win. He knows. He looked in the future. He saw.
Now Newcastle didn't play great last week, but I think Fulham's starting to feel a little bit where they've been drawing a lot of points, but not finishing off. I see a slight decline in Fulham.
Fulham got rocked last week, didn't they?
What was the score?
Yeah, against Man United, 1-0. Not rocked, but
I'm just saying. And then they just seem like they start out really high, and right now they're not pumping it up.
Yeah, they are a solid mid-table team right now, and the best they could hope for is a touch of Europe right now. So
yeah,
they're right in the thick of it down there. They're doing well. They're losing games that they shouldn't be losing, to be honest.
It's been like that way, Lolo, for
Monday.
A couple weeks,
They should have beat the shit out of Man United, and they didn't.
Exactly. You're right.
So it's unfortunate, which means maybe they do something about
Yeah, I
like
think,
that Vinyl Horror. Welcome to the show, Vinyl Horror. He says rocked to sleep. Fulham versus United was ass. Yes, it absolutely was.
Who did that? Somebody did that.
It was ass.
I just don't know. I don't know here. This is a match where you just go, oh, this team's in really good form, and they disappoint.
No, it's every week.
Which I think is what's going to happen to Bournemouth, but I'll still take them. Newcastle, Fulham. You know, I thought
remember
Newcastle
last week wasn't Bournemouth.
Newcastle was in form, and then they got just destroyed by Bournemouth.
True, that's a good point. I did too.
When I thought Fulham was in form, they ended up losing to West Ham 3-2, which wasn't even as close as the score might consider. I'm gonna go draw here. I'm gonna go Desmond.
Okay.
Going to Desmond.
I mean, don't forget, yes, Newcastle lost to Bournemouth, but then they played last week against Southampton. I think they won like 3-1.
That's Southampton.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, my nan beat Southampton, and she's been dead
Colton
since
Connor.
2001.
You know, so yeah, I just don't know. I don't know who they are.
I think this Newcastle Fulham could actually be like 0-0.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
it's one of these weird ones where both the teams are just like, I don't know. I feel something weird in this.
If that's the case, then again, Newcastle has to be suspect because they're not performing up to expectations. If it comes to that, because with Isaac. With the Gordon, they have players that can score some goals, man. So we'll see. I think Newcastle can do it.
All right, Wolves Villa. Tom?
Wolves are going to win 2-1, of course.
Perfect.
Lawrence, get in there, son.
And when Wolves do win,
3-1 Villa.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you can say better.
No, that's fine. To be honest, you know, I mean, until Wolves prove that they can do something, and right now they can't.
And I try to hate, but yeah,
we're not a very good. We're not a very good team. We're not playing very well. We're not playing very well together. We're still trying to figure it out, and it's getting a little too late in the season to try and figure it out. But sometimes history is history for a reason, and. You know, Aston Villa does not play well after playing in Europe. And this is, you know, you've got Wolves at home. I think maybe they could poach a point. I wouldn't say 3, but I would say they poach a point. I'll go 1-1.
Fair shout.
I'll say 3 points because Villa need to go fuck themselves. But when Wolves do win 2-1, the coach is going to go all Pete Weber from the bowling. I've seen the memes where he goes, "Who do you think you are? I am. I am." I fucking love that
you know
shit.
what? If Wolves beat Villa, Tom, your next order of curry is on me.
Then Mark will walk down New York being Frank the Tank. Yeah, you remember that old school?
I definitely do.
And that Mark, by the way, Tom doesn't get paid in curry anymore. He gets paid in kilos of chicken wings.
Oh, see, I'm a chicken wing fan. Tom, are you a big chicken wing fan?
They serve them by the kilo. Tom took me to a place by London Stadium.
Lover.
I thought Tom was a curry fan.
He might be. I'm just saying. I saw him order a kilo of chicken wings, and I was like, "How many is that?" And he's like, "It's a kilo." Like, yeah, but how many wings is that? He's like, "It's like 7 kilo, Lolo."
Exactly, it's 7. They're drumsticks.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think Wolves will actually eke out a point here again. 3 points against Villa. I think they're going to take it 1-0. It's going to be another weird fucking game because Villa are weird after Champions League, and they also have the Duran thing leaving. They also have the rumors of Ollie Watkins, all that nonsense. It's all that shit going on in this weekend. It makes for a crazy storm.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
That something weird could happen, and I think maybe a 1-0 Wolves victory. This is all for betting.
I want to ask really quick, Lolo, and you can just give it a yes or no question. Ollie Watkins to Arsenal, yes or no?
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. He's not going. He's not going, by the way.
He's definitely not. He's definitely not, especially since they sold Duran.
But I would absolutely.
By the way, said I've been a fan of this Arab club my whole life.
That's
like that load of crap.
Nah, he must have had a bet. Someone would have done the running joke thing of because it was always like a running joke in England, like when Frank Lampard left, or it was like Frank Lampard or Joe Cole in the year 2000 when they left West Ham to go to Chelsea. They come out with something like, "Oh, I used to sit on the terraces at Stamford Bridge." It's like, you fucking didn't, you lying little fucker. But it was that kind of thing, like to ingratiate yourself to your new fans, and people fell for it. Mm-hmm. But basically, I think someone went to Duran and went, basically, "I'll give you £100 if you actually go on TV and say that you've been a fan of Al Nassr your entire life." When you
they probably it was a pre-contract that said
ridiculous statement.
They're like, "Listen, we're gonna pay 90 million whatever for you. You're gonna make this much money, but here's a clause: if you say that you've always been a fan of us before we even sign you, we'll give you $13 million." And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Is he gonna end up getting like the Neymar treatment where it's like, "Hey, every time you tweet, we'll give you $500,000."
Yeah, I mean, he'll get that to a degree. It won't be the Neymar price, but I'm sure it's like every time you tweet, you get 30 grand or something. Like,
but like what Ryan said in the text there, though, Watkins is going nowhere now because if Watkins was going to go, they would have kept Duran because he would have been the replacement. He would have been the heir apparent new striker because he always comes off the bench. But now he's going to Saudi. Villa's going to keep Watkins. Now Watkins has not had a great season thus far, but we know what he can do. And it could be the players around him feeding the ball, but he's staying.
That's hilarious, Vinyl.
Can I just clear something up? The reason I said £100, I'm not implying that Al Nassr paying him £100 to say that. I'm implying like Ollie Watkins for a laugh said, "I'll give you £100 right now."
I got you, Tom.
In case it came off, like I'm implying that Al Nassr basically nuggets out of their shit.
Now that Duran's going to Saudi, he's not going. Watkins is staying to Villa.
And I just would like to clarify that a little bit, Lawrence. Like Ollie Watkins has scored like 11 goals in all competitions, which is ahead of pace of anything he's done in prior years.
Really?
He scored 19 last year. 19 goals last year. Right now, he's at 10. That's on pace.
Mark, that's good because I can tell you if I see him because I've had him as my fantasy team and all different things, and I watch him. I thought he's underpaid, so that's good.
He's underperforming to me. He should be doing better.
I thought so.
Right now he's going to struggle to get 19.
I think when it's all said and done at the end of the season, he's going to have about 18, 19 goals.
Gotcha.
Which is what he does.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough for a striker like him.
And just like Holland is underperformed, in my opinion, this year.
Holland is underperforming, but
Salah has not. Salah's been great. Foden has underperformed. If you look at certain
not in the last 5 weeks.
No, not 5 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Best he started.
Yeah,
he started.
The season is 38 weeks. Mark, he's
in the last 5 weeks. Foden's been playing very, very well.
Mark, I don't want to.
7 goals and 5 assists in the last 5 weeks.
He's starting 100%. He's starting to step up. Holland is dropped off. But yeah, you're all right.
It's funny to say. Holland has like 17 goals this season. Oh, he's dropped off.
He has. Holland is
to say that.
Holland is a 30 to 50 goal.
To Neymar's agent because that must be one of the most hardworking motherfuckers in football.
Who?
Because he just Neymar's agent. Because he secured himself yet another move back to Santos, where he spent obviously his childhood in football.
Apparently he's only going to Santos for one season to show off that he can still play, so that Barcelona will sign him for one more season when Messi comes back, because Messi is not happy with what's going on in the MLS. Messi said his kids are not being raised well or whatever in Florida. You moved your fucking kids to Florida and you're like, oh, I don't like the school system and the way things are going. And so he wants to move back. And so now, and Busquets is like, oh, it would be great if we could all go back. So now they're all going to go back and fuck up Barcelona.
Well, no, it's like teams going to Saudi. They pay this guy millions of dollars here. Take the money and run. Get it for a couple of years and go back to what you like, right? You know, what you hate, but you can't hate if you were in that position because you take the money and run. Because MLS is not Premier League.
I've done a lot worse for a lot less, Lawrence.
What's that, dog?
I'm saying I've done a lot worse things for a lot less money than they're doing their shit for.
Tom, I'm looking at you. I'm not surprised. I love you, but I ain't surprised.
But in all seriousness, I'm very impressed with how. And these lads think that basically the club that had no money now, because of how much they paid them previously, they're just gonna go back there and get the same shit. It's like,
true.
What the fuck are they smoking?
100%. No,
and they'll get it too.
Yep, they will. That's what's frustrating about the bullshit.
Anyway, it does feel like the after hours chat, which is obviously something that people should pay for. No, I'm joking. That doesn't sound very.
Tom, you've done an outstanding job. After dark, the predictions are good, and this is the magic numbers right here, though.
The magic, baby.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that you guys got to say before we go backstage?
Yeah, Derby County should go fuck themselves again. Just in case I wasn't too clear on it the first time, I told Derby County to go fuck themselves. Just unequivocally clear. GOFUCK yourself.
Oh, we forgot about the whole second half of the fucking schedule. So, Brentford to beat Spurs, Palace to beat United, Arsenal to beat City, West Ham to beat Chelsea, and Everton to draw with Liverpool. There you go.
I love you so much.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah, totally. That's definitely good.
Anything else to say? Perfect. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to catch Lawrence. Wherever you can find Lawrence and Mr. Tom, wherever you can find Mr. Tom.
West Ham Unofficial.
If anybody would like to join us backstage, Director John has popped up this little StreamYard code up here. If you guys want to join us backstage, we will get a little bit even looser for a moment or two. Don't forget to find Mr. Tom on Tom Talks Wrestling.
I'm doing a watch along
Thursdays.
tomorrow. I'm watching the Royal Rumble. Come and join me to watch the Royal Rumble and Mr. Tom talks
Hey, Tom,
wrestling.
is it on your normal one?
Yeah, on my YouTube channel, sir. Mr. Tom talks wrestling, and I'm going to watch the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Whether users are there or not, but it's probably a lot cooler if people are there.
I clicked on that before. They said, "Hey, but be careful, it's porn." Okay, I wasn't sure.
Almost certainly. The gayer it looks, the gayer it almost certainly is. But you know.
Yo, can I just say this is fantastic that at the end of our show here, 2 hours and some odd in, we've got in the comments, it's not all Leeds, it's not all Arsenal. We have a Leeds, Villa, family. Arsenal, Leeds, Wolves.
Where's my thing?
Wait, there's a Villa fan in the chat.
Yeah, this vinyl whore up the Villa. Up the Villa. There you go, vinyl whore.
This is genuinely proof. Not every chat is perfect, clearly.
Yeah.
No, good. Bring them all.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Hey, vinyl whore, Ryan G. Ryan G, why don't you guys click that link and join us backstage for a bit? We'll have a cocktail and call it excuse me, I'm burping out. Call it a night. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. I hope all of your teams lose, except for all of your teams who are on here.
Come on, your eyes.
Peace.